Hello, and thank you for joining me here at Take Five with Fanay Five. Hey, that's me. Today is February 6th, and I want to talk about and show you a clip about Arthur Ashe. He was the first African American to win the Grand Slam in tennis. Unfortunately, due to a blood transfusion during surgery, he contracted HIV and passed away at an early age from AIDS. It was very difficult for him to keep his business private. So before he was exposed by the media, he came forward. But at the end of the day, this was a man of discipline. He was an activist and definitely a great athlete. Take a look.
When the world's greatest tennis players compete at the U.S. Open in Flushing Meadows, New York, this is the Mecca, the huge stadium where championships are won and lost. It's named for a tennis great who transcended the court and sport itself, Arthur Ashe.
He said it over and over again. If the tennis champions are all that I leave, I've left nothing. You know, that he wanted to leave a legacy and he wanted other athletes to take it as an example.
With reminders of Ashe all around, from a photographic exhibit to a virtual reality film and display about his rich life. Born in 1943, Ashe grew up in segregated Richmond, Virginia, next to the city's largest blacks-only park, which was managed by his father, Arthur Sr. It was here the young Arthur first hit tennis balls.
He never, for example, could play at Bird Park, which was the major white park where the good tennis courts were. He was not a man to have a grudge or to get angry, but he said the thing that really stuck in his craw is he'd be somewhere in the world later in his life when he was famous, and someone from Richmond would come up to him and say, "Oh, Arthur, we're so proud of you, and back in Richmond, I can remember seeing you play at Bird Park when you were a boy." And of course, he knew he never played at Bird Park.
He would win a tennis scholarship to attend UCLA and became the first African American to represent the U.S. on the Davis Cup team, an international tennis competition. In 1968, at age 25, and still in the U.S. Army as a second lieutenant, Ashe won the first U.S. Open. And he was the first and still only African-American man to win the tournament. Two other Grand Slam titles followed, the Australian Open in 1970 and a 1975 upset over Jimmy Connors at Wimbledon. And fully took over when heart disease and quadruple bypass surgery forced him to retire at age 36. He was active in the fight against apartheid in South Africa.
Like this, look, watch.
And in this country worked to bring better athletic facilities to black youth and protested on behalf of Haitian immigrants trying to enter the U.S. He was criticized at times by some African American leaders for not being more militant and aggressive enough in his stance. But, says Arsenault,
he took the weight of the world on his shoulders, even though he knew there were certain things he couldn't do. He had to do it his way, you know, kind of this calm, deliberative style, never losing his cool, never raising his voice. That was who he was.